Hey, look at how dark it is. Because it's nighttime and I'm in this house by myself. So excited to be here. I finished my psychology finals. Well, final is one way of putting it. Huge, fucking, unbelievably looming IB exam is another way to put it. God, IB, I want to say it's a good decision and I want to support people who are thinking about doing it, but that at the same time, I just regret it to no end sometimes. So I have mixed opinions on it. Who knew? But yeah, so I finished psychology today, and then I came home, took a nap for 2 minutes, but then Toy Story 3 was on TV, and then Rear Window was on after that. How am I not going to watch Rear Window? And then my mom came home, and there was someone looking at her shower, so I didn't really feel like sleeping with a maintenance worker in the house, just because I have this weird thing where I can't sleep when there are guests or any kind of person outside of my family over, so I just sort of stayed up, and then after that I just wasn't even tired anymore. I mean, I was mentally exhausted, but physically I was just kind of on par with people who actually get a good night's sleep, which is not something I normally do, but last night at 9 o'clock I was like, okay, I'm hitting the sack, even though I hadn't really studied. But, pay attention in class, and I retained a lot of that information, and I studied on the train to La Salle this morning, so that's good enough. Yeah, so what are you going to do? I'm here. I have absolute jack shit to do. I've been scanning in some of my drawings because it turns out I don't actually like using my tablet, and if I'm gonna have any semblance of a DeviantArt account, there probably should be some evidence that I am in fact an artist up there. So I have like 60 sketchbooks I've got to scan stuff in from. I'm halfway through the second one. Work hard and you'll make profit. I'm not scanning my comics in. I might, but for now my consensus with myself is probably not, because I'm more of a perfectionist about them, and I don't like the old ones and how they generally lack toning, because I didn't have multiple colors. Well, by colors I mean shades to work with back then. And even the new ones, I get worried about my stuff being stolen. I'm extremely paranoid about my stuff being stolen. I had an empty DeviantArt for the longest time. It's actually still empty right now. I'll probably put some stuff up later. I can't talk right now. That seems really obvious, I'm sure, from all the stuttering I've been doing. So what did I do today? Well, I came home, I did all these things I've already chronicled to you, and I watched the Psycho remake, and I have another video on my reaction as I watched that, and why it's so abominably bad. And then I just sort of got frustrated and turned it off and decided I was going to watch something else, because I couldn't deal with it. And then I drew some more, because that's what I do when I have nothing to do. And then after a certain point, I've drawn for 2 or 3 hours, there isn't really any much more drawing I can do during that expansive time, because, oh my god, there is nothing to do around here. The whole family's off at a baseball game. I hate baseball. I don't have anything against it, I just don't have any particular interest in it or desire to experience it. I like playing it with people when they want to play it, but I don't follow the teams. When we play games, guessing celebrities, etc., I can never get the sports ones, which is sort of embarrassing, but then it's sort of not, because of how little I care about it. So, respect to all of you who do. I don't. That's just the difference between you and me and whoever else is out there. Anyway, so I'm here by myself, and there is nothing to do. Nothing. Nothing. So I'm probably going to edit that part because it was shit and nothing happened within 20 seconds, and that's really embarrassing. movies have I watched lately? Well, I saw Easy A the other night. It was really funny. I particularly liked the John Hughes references. But it's embarrassing when people start quoting that section of the movie containing the John Hughes references without actually knowing what the reference is to. I mean, that's fine. Do what you want, but you really should see where your sources are coming from. For example, the people who see Scream and quote from it, "We all go a little mad sometimes," because that's from Scream, because Skeet Ulrich was definitely the first person to say that. That, didn't come from this little independent film called Psycho or anything. People who don't watch black and white movies, just entirely because of the fact that they are black and white movies, drive me batshit. I can't deal with people who limit themselves like that. I mean, I know I sort of have a rule, and it's really not a rule, it's just kind of a guideline against listening to music written after the year 2000. It really isn't a rule, because I love Mumford & Sons, and I love Kate Nash, and I love Florence and the Machine, and I would say I love some of the stuff that old bands do nowadays, but that generally isn't true, because the new Guns N' Roses is shit. So, but I understand how people view this whole prospect that they don't want to step outside of their comfort zone. I'm all about stepping outside of your comfort zone, though, and I think everyone should be like that. Watch a black and white movie. If you don't, you're going to be missing the fuck out. I played a game with some college students yesterday who were over here. It was not a drinking or even remotely sexual game. I probably wouldn't be reporting that to you guys, even if I did. That isn't what happened. It was basically just guessing celebrities. It's called Botticelli. There are questions. Somebody comes up with a person, and you report the first letter of their last name, and then people try to stump you so they can earn the right to ask a question. It's a lot like 20 questions, but in other ways it's very different. And none of them knew who, there were like 4 of them, none of them knew who Jimmy Stewart was. That's just kind of embarrassing. I mean, it was like when I brought up David Bowie to my class the other day, because we were talking about things that can happen to one's eye physically, and I was like, well, didn't he get stabbed in the eye or something when he was little? And my teacher was like, oh yeah, that did happen. And then everyone was like, who's David Bowie? Wow. That is really what they said. I was just kind of sitting there not knowing how to react, not wanting to be a complete bitch about it, but at the same time wondering how the fuck is our generation being brought up if they don't know who David Bowie is. It's not like he's dead or anything. I mean, David Bowie is still fucking alive. That just doesn't make sense to me. This is just me ranting about how people are idiots and sort of chronicling my day. So this has been a nothing post. I don't really know what I have to talk about, so I'm gonna stop talking. Tom out.